What's up, guys? We're back live, and we got a bit of announcement, guys. I want to wait till, maybe wait a little bit, build up a little suspense, guys. But it's been a little bit since I've streamed, you know what I mean? I've seen a lot of people comment, when am I going to start streaming? I asked you guys recently, what do you guys want to see from the channel? You guys said streaming, and look, I like streaming more than the next guy. It's just sometimes tough. This ain't my full-time thing, you know what I'm trying to say? So, I would love to, but, I got a lot of other stuff, it's hard to juggle, but I would love to. So that's why, look, I'm trying to make some time. And that's why, honestly, I'm just going to say I'm going to start doing this pretty weekly. I'm going to try to do this weekly and hope for the best. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing this Monday at 10:30. We'll go live, recap. What we're going to do is we're going to go through, because there's so much news I don't talk about. There's so many things I'm sure you guys are like, damn, he never said anything on this. This is the time that I want you guys, especially, and we're going to go into this throughout next week when I'm, doing my videos and stuff. I want you guys especially to join the Discord server down below, and you guys could hopefully send me some stuff that I could react to on stream. So I'm actually reacting to stuff you guys want me to react to, but I just picked a bunch of random MMA news stuff that happened today and yesterday, and maybe a couple days ago if it was really big. I didn't really try to read too much, just so I could kind of be fresh with it. How's it going today? Cool, man. Looking forward to more streams. Hey, how you doing? I appreciate the view. I appreciate you here. Appreciate the chat, John. And yeah, look, that has been a lot of the sentiment. A lot of people have been saying, like, what streaming, and I want to stream more. And you know what? And it's like, I got to make time for it. You know what I mean? I make time for the videos. I make time for this, that. Nah, I got to make time for some streaming. And especially because, look, I really like this format. I like reacting with you guys. I like talking MMA. I mean, that's just obviously the best part of this whole thing. I love talking about MMA and stuff. And it's like, the fact that now this is kind of like a designated time for, me to kind of react, for me to chill, for you guys to chill, for you guys to talk in the chat. I'm curious, most of all, and that's what I also love about streaming, is there have been so many crazy moments on stream where it's like, in the past, even if it's a stream that doesn't have a lot of people, you know what I'm saying? It's the community that really brings it. It's you guys. So I really do appreciate it. And that's why I want to stream most of all, is because I really do appreciate the community, appreciate the comments from just even regular videos, like the comment sections. I mean, sometimes you guys leave comments, I'm literally laughing out loud. I'm like, yo, this is funny. Like, okay, even if y'all are making fun of me, it's like, come on, even I gotta admit, okay, this is funny. All right, I laughed at this one. Like, sometimes, the hate comments, we gotta laugh at those. You know what I'm saying? But honestly, I gotta be real though. There honestly aren't that many hate comments. I mean, I appreciate the love. I feel like, I don't know. Is that a good thing, bad thing? Because I feel like haters come with success. So maybe I should want the haters a little bit. But what do you call it, guys? Let's just start reacting to some news. I mean, I'm really excited to get here, and like I said, let me know what you guys, if you guys have anything you guys want me to react to, you could put in the chat, or preferably you guys could put it in the Discord server so I can copy the link, put it on here, and call it a day. So it's up to you guys, but I suggest to join the Discord server. We're doing a lot of cool things there, a lot of convos and stuff going on. So here's what it is. Let's make this a little bigger just so it's a little bigger for y'all. Okay, here's the first thing let's discuss. Dustin Poirier plays match. I thought this was an interesting thing, and I actually didn't really read this. I just saw that he was playing matchmaker, but it didn't clock to me. All right, so we're going to clock for the first time here what his actual thing is. So if I was matchmaker, it would be Arman versus Gaethje. Winner of that gets the title. Hooker versus Patty. Winner of... Okay, so that's a lot. Okay, wait. If I was a matchmaker, it would be Arman versus Gaethje. Winner of that gets title fight. Okay, that makes sense. I don't think that's all that fair. Hooker versus Patty next in line. So I presume you'd probably try to book this. I mean, at this point, what are you going to book it in November? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, I guess you could book it in November, and I guess book this early next year, 2026. I mean, it's not the craziest thing. If you could put this in December, maybe even November, I doubt that, but then you put this fight on like a, February Australia card or something like that. I don't know. But I really wouldn't be surprised if we see Patty and Ilia for the first Paramount fight. I wouldn't be surprised. That's a big, it's not I don't think it's a big fight right now. And so I'm not going to say, oh, this is a big fight. But I think if they promote this well, and, Dana White, and that's what we're going to talk about too. And that's kind of the whole like title of the video, which we didn't really even address, so whoops. But about the whole Dana White boxing stuff, so we'll actually address that in a little bit. Let me find. Yeah, we'll address that next. I'll move that a little bit ahead of the timeline here, so just so we could actually be a little on brand. Oh, look, PZ back. Probably can't stick around for this one, but hopefully Dana leaves the UFC. He definitely was needed for UFC at one point, but that's past, and his stubbornness is holding it back. That is a hot take, but I don't know if it's, I think at the end of the day, like, I don't know, like, how, I feel like how much involvement does he even have in the UFC? You know what I mean? Like, I just don't think that what we're seeing here is just laziness from a corporation that is literally just recycling the same exact thing over and over again because it is, easy to do. I mean, literally, like, it's like a McDonald's or a Wendy's, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not high quality food, but it's consistent. You know what you're getting. And, look, it's fine. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not going to fucking complain about it, but it's like, it could be better. You absolutely could go the extra mile. So I see what you mean. Who you got in the last 3 fights of UFC 320? I'm going to say that in a second. I just want to finish about UFC and Dana White, but that's definitely a good question. And I want to get into that. But actually, let me hold up, guys. I should actually go back and forth. My bad, y'all. Look, guys, I haven't streamed in a minute, so relax, guys. Sorry. But yeah, no, I think that's definitely an interesting take. Like, I think that Dana White, I don't know. Like, I think that I just feel like it's the corporation. Like, I just don't know if anybody would care enough to step up. And I think the best hope for the UFC is that Dana White sees this hate and maybe gets like, motivated, but it's like, I don't know. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't know. I mean, maybe honestly, you're better off probably getting like a fan of the UFC, like a true fan of the UFC as a promoter, because they probably would act. That's what made the UFC, I feel like, really good, especially, like way before Dana White, just fell off and all this and that. Like, I felt like it really was like a fan. Like, if you're a fan, look, you're getting this fight. Like, the fight's gonna happen. It might seem crazy compared to boxing that it's gonna happen. Like, boxing usually does, the bullshit of, oh, maybe it's not gonna happen, but it's like that was the appeal. And now it's just like we're seeing time and time again. Conor McGregor, we were like, told on and off again, oh, Conor McGregor is going to fight, just doesn't happen. John Jones and Tom Aspinall, I think, was probably the worst damage because Conor McGregor, I mean, look, I don't think many people were super, super excited. I know that, I'm afraid to even say this because I know that PZ is going to jump on me in the chat for being like, no one is excited. I know that y'all are going to be like, oh, I was excited. Listen, I think that I could say this without a shadow of doubt. I was way more excited for John Jones, Tom Aspinall. The Conor McGregor fight was more curiosity. It was, look, it's going to be a big fight when it happens. It's a big story. Of course, you're going to talk about it. You know what I mean? But John Jones, I really wanted to see that fight at one point. But by the time, I mean, seriously, this whole year, 2025, January 2025, I really didn't care at this point. I really didn't care. I'd accepted it was gone. I just don't know. You're going to have to find someone more motivated. So. But let me see. Official David said, who you got in the last 3 fights of UFC 320? So, in the main event, Magomed Ankalaev and Alex Pereira. I did a video on this yesterday, but overall, I'm going to go with Pereira. I think Pereira is going to catch Magomed. I know that might be a hot take, and I don't like how, I don't like how Magomed, or I mean, I don't like how Alex has been kind of acting, not personally, but I'm just saying, like, in terms of me feeling confident about how he is going into the fight, like, is he worried about something? Is he not confident? That's kind of what I'm thinking. But I still think that Pereira is going to catch him. I think Pereira is going to say, fuck it, let me go forward. I think, Magomed had a chance, I think, to take him down and control him. He did not. I don't think he could. And I think because I've said this many times, Magomed, I don't think has the cardio to do so. So I don't think it does that for that reason. Yeah, I already see Connor mention. But yeah, no, I don't think he does that for that reason. So I think that Alex Pereira could be a little more confident, press a little forward, and I think he could. I think it's likely he catches Magomed at some point. I mean, I think especially if he really was injured the last time. So I'm gonna pick that for the first fight. Second fight, what the hell? Why am I drawing? Oh, Corey Sandhagen and Merab. How could I fucking forget? I literally just draw like a blank because you know why I'm looking. You guys don't see this, but I'm looking at Justin Gaethje and Armin. So I'm like, honestly, yo, I really want to see that fight. No, actually, but Corey and Merab, I love this fight, and also kind of don't like the fight only because I like Merab and Corey Sandhagen. Corey Sandhagen, like, I think I've always said, I think he's underrated, and it sucks for him because he always like almost gets to a very good position. I think there's some breaking news. Magomedov drops. Oh no, selfie with Ali Abdelaziz. So what the hell? So we'll check that out in a second. But I don't think that was any big news. But what was I just saying, guys? I don't remember. Oh, about that. I said, yeah, I think Corey Sandhagen's underrated. I like Merab. Obviously, Merab's not underrated. Merab's obviously one of like the top guys right now. So I don't think he's underrated. But I think that I think for this one it's tough. I don't know. I really could see Corey Sandhagen knocking out Merab, like Merab running into something. I saw Merab saying he wants to strike with Corey. I'm not saying, I don't know if that's like a mistake because I actually think Merab striking isn't like terrible by any means. So I think that, and I actually saw Corey, funny enough, saying he wants to wrestle, and I actually don't think that's a bad idea. I think that I really don't know. I have no idea who's going to win that. Like, you know what really throws the whole thing off for me is the size of Corey. That's what makes me think like, and he has really good footwork. What do you guys think? I want to know what you guys think because I honestly don't know. I really don't know, to be honest. Like I go back and forth, you know. But I think I'm gonna pick something right now. How I'm leaning today as a Monday, I'm gonna go with. You know what? I'm gonna go with Corey. I'm fucking gonna go with Corey right now. But I don't know. I'm gonna think about it though. I want to think about it. But I really am gonna be sad. I don't want Merab to lose, and I don't want Corey to lose, man, because Corey has never won the title. And Merab, I kind of want him to go on a crazy run. So I don't know. I kind of might be rooting for Merab. I don't know, but I really like whatever. I'll think about all of this. Who am I gonna pick? All this and that. And then for your last fight, Yuri, and Khalil, I would probably go. I think I'm gonna go with. I think I'm gonna go. I don't know. Like I think I'm gonna go Yuri. To be honest, Yuri. I think Yuri's going to win. Yuri, I thought he looked good in his last fight with Jamal Hill. And even though he got hurt, I felt like he recovered well. And I thought that his chin was going to be gone because this guy takes so much damage. Khalil hits hard, so there's always a chance. Actually, yeah, I think I might go with Khalil Roundtree. Actually, never mind. I'm going to change my mind. I think Khalil Roundtree is going to win. I think he's going to get a knockout. But the only thing is, against Jamal Hill, I just didn't like his output. Like, I felt like his output wasn't there. He said it was because why would he put himself in danger? You know, and I get it. You know, that is fair. I wasn't even trying to criticize that. Like, that's fair. But I don't know if that was really the case, or was it just, you know, does he not have high output anyways? And, you know, he was winning, and, you know, it just didn't seem like a problem. But can he put out a high output? I mean, against Pereira, that fight with Pereira was really crazy. So I think so. I think that Khalil is going to win. I think Khalil. I am going to go with Khalil Roundtree. So yeah, that's to answer your question. Merab is going to. He refuses to attempt a stadium show, keeps the Apex, and is more focused on boxing and power stuff. I actually don't hate. Why? Okay, so the stadium thing is this. So the stadium show, let's be honest, it is going to look worse. However, it does help ticket prices. He should just, like, the UFC should turn off dynamic pricing. You know what I'm saying? That's really on them. Like, Ticketmaster gets away with all this money, and the UFC don't even make the money. Like, turn it off. Like, they have the choice. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've seen artists do the same thing with their concerts. I don't understand what the big deal is, but Connor mentioned Merab is going to do the usual. I figure Corey won't be able to do damage to him enough, and Merab takes the decision. So I absolutely agree with you, and that would make sense, and I think a lot of people would think that as well. But Corey, I really am impressed with Corey because I feel like Corey, whenever this guy has a hole in his game, he figures it out. I mean, I don't even know a hole in this guy's game anymore, bro. Like, at this point, he has fixed so much about himself, and like literally every year I feel like he's like improving. So, and that's why I really like him. Like, you could tell like this guy really like trains, this guy really fucking like improves. So with him, I look, the one thing, like you just said, well, he won't be able to do damage. What is the one thing that I mean, yeah, like, what is one thing that you could say about him is that he doesn't do damage. So who does he train with? Trevor Whitman, who is known to give, like, you know, tips on, you know, how to hit harder. Look at Usman. Usman went there. I mean, if you look at Trevor Whitman's, like, training stuff, like, he actually has, like, obviously, like, you know, all these coaches, they have stuff online training. Like, if you watch his things, like, he has things specifically on, like, how to hit harder, like, turning over your punch, like, the exact, you know, how to turn it, like, super in detail stuff, guys. And I'm telling you, it is not a coincidence. That is a hole in his game. So that's why I'm saying too, I would not be surprised if he knocks out Merab with a punch or something like that, or if he, not a cold maybe, but catches Merab off guard, because we've seen Merab rock before, and gets a TKO or something like that, or maybe change the direction of the fight, makes the fight a little bit closer. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see in the later rounds, but Corey has good cardio too, so that's I don't know. All right, guys, but let's look at more news. I just got some. Dana has been a figurehead for a while. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, for sure. Good call. So you agree now, John, with me? I am the brightest night. I am the lightest night. I am the ascending, as we are all. Yo, it's my man, Dark Light Delirium. It would not be a stream without my guy. It would not be a JackMMA content of any form without a classic comment like that. All right, so let's look at the next thing. What's up, Dark? What's up, everybody here? Dark Delirium, John. I think PZ's gone, but like I said, guys, let me know. Type shit in the chat, guys. I wanna answer. I wanna know what you guys think of this news. Especially, let's get into this. This is what I made the topic about, the main topic. And also, guys, what do you guys think about this thumbnail that I did, by the way? It's a little different thumbnail. I'm thinking about maybe trying this out for the videos as well, guys. Let me know. It's a little bit of a different thumbnail, but look, the white one, PZ, and the fact that, he's holding the UFC back, just because I actually don't even think he really does all that much. I think that really, at the end of the day, if Dana White leaves, the UFC, I think, is just going to suffer even more, because it's literally going to have no person that, has connected to the business, really. I mean, Dana White built this thing from the ground up, so even though there are times where, yes, he is lazy, we also see times like UFC Noche in the Sphere, where it's okay, he'll get up out of bed and say, you know what, actually, there's this one time, this one event in this year I want to do for the UFC, because I built this company up and I want to see it grow. And he gets, an enjoyment that's more than money, something that's for himself, his soul. And I feel like you're not going to get that if you, I don't know, I really don't know who you would pick to get that. I roll with Doogie's Corner too. GK is weird, but cool. You cool, Jack. What's wrong with GK? I don't mind GK. I actually don't mind GK. I've talked to GK before. Yo, brother Jack, what's poppin', G? What's up, Manny? Good to see all y'all. Wait, is there an error here? Yo, are y'all still seeing me right now? I hope so. There's an error apparently, yo. The fuck? Open wound. Okay, I don't know what's going on, guys. Hopefully y'all can see me. What the fuck? Can y'all see me? Is this stream still good? I don't know how to fix this, guys. I don't know what I'm doing, bro. I hope this stream is good. But what were we talking about with Dana White as I try to... Oh, no, we're good now. Okay, guys. I see this what happens. I panic now, and y'all probably yeah, I'm going to dip from the stream. Nah, but Dana White... What were we talking about with Dana White? Oh, yeah. I agree with y'all that he's a figurehead. And, that was what it was, a GK. I was thrown off by that. That's what I was last on. Yeah, we can see you. Okay. Yeah, we can see you. All right, bet. All right. Also, let me know what y'all think about the thumbnail. And also, let me know with, what you call it. What is Doogie's Corner, too? I don't know what that is. But what do you call it? Let me know what you guys think of the thumbnail, and let me know, guys, if you guys check out that podcast that I'm doing. I'm curious what you guys. I want to know what you guys think about that as well. But whatever. Let's get into this. Dana White is asked about the Muhammad Ali Act. So for those guys that don't know, and I'm gonna set up my headphones just so I could actually listen to with y'all on this. Let's see. Here we go. Okay, so Dana White talked about the Muhammad Ali Act. The Muhammad Ali Act, for those of y'all that don't know, is the act in the United States that kind of prevents the whole the what the UFC does, which is have all these boxers in one promotion. There's a whole bunch of rules in it, and basically it's just supposed to kind of make it more fair for the boxers, the fighters themselves. What's up, Piggly Wiggly? Once I saw Piggly Wiggly from the corner of my eye, I was like, yo, I gotta shout him out. what do you call it? Yeah. So this is what's in place to kind of help boxers, and just so that they don't wind up bankrupting the career, that they're not hitting the head with like CTE, and now they're on the side of the road despite making millions. You know what I'm saying? And that's really what it was for. And Dana White wants to get rid of this so that all the boxers could be under his league. This is definitely an interesting video, and I thought let's take a look at this on stream. Oh, whoops. We're black. Okay, there we are. What's up, Piggly Wiggly? What's up? Let's actually take a look at this. Let's watch this right now. I'm gonna show y'all what Dana White. Well, I'm gonna listen too, because I don't even know really what Dana White said. I don't know. Well, maybe I did see it. I don't know. We'll take a look, to be honest. But also worth mentioning, guys, that Paramount Plus and Zuffa Boxing have agreed to a deal, which is a streaming. And also, I should probably move my face, right, because of that, right? No, I don't know. I don't really know where I could move it to, so whatever. We'll do just Dana and me here. So Paramount Plus agreed to have the new boxing league, the new Zuffa Boxing League, on their platform. Obviously, they just bought UFC for like $7.7 billion or something like that. So yeah, it makes sense, I guess, like that they would also buy Zuffa Boxing, because this is a gamble. I mean, I don't know. That's another thing, is they didn't reveal. I don't believe they revealed how many years there were, but I know for a fact they didn't reveal the money. So I'm curious. I mean, realistically, if they paid not a lot for this, that could be a steal, because it's like, for all you know, this could really blow up. I mean, there really is, I think, a gap in there is a gap in boxing, because it's weird to say, because boxing also has had really amazing fights in the last few years, and fights have actually been made. But my thing is, with Turkey out of the scene, how many fights are actually going to be made? How many superstars are there really in boxing? Let's be real. I mean, there aren't, in the UFC, the thing about the UFC that makes, the UFC in terms of a business so good, and why you don't have to put so much effort, is because, like, the brand is enough. So if they could do that with boxing and not have to rely on necessarily one person, one superstar, that's going to help the business a lot. But let's hear what Dana White had to say to Brian Campbell from CBS, I believe, CBS Sport. So let's hear it.
Let's be clear. There will be zero changes to the Muhammad Ali Act.
So yeah, that's a big thing. He says 0 changes, and to be honest, guys, I don't know like the exact wording of like what's in the Muhammad Ali Act, but I think that's probably a PR kind of thing to say, like no changes, because a lot of people have been asking Dana White about this. He got literally asked about this during the Canelo Terrence Crawford press conference. This isn't a good look if this goes national, especially, I mean, I've always said this, if, Dana White tries to use his connections with Trump, this will go maybe even nationally. Like, this might turn into a political story where the UFC is kind of a footnote, right? In this whole thing where, like, to us, this is like about UFC and, and where they're going to be. Like, it could be totally turned into a totally different direction, like a political direction. So that could literally just make it way worse for the UFC, make it seem like, oh, the UFC is just like evil, greedy, Walmart-esque company, Amazon-esque company that is, clamping down on their workers, aka the fighters, taking advantage of them, letting them get brain damage, this and that, right? That's probably what's going to happen, and or I think is at risk of happening, not probably, but like at risk if potentially this does get politicized, if they really go in there and do too much. So I think they're very smart in how they're doing it. They're doing it seems the right way. They're not just, they're not like going to Trump saying, hey, like, let's fucking change the law, and then Trump's going on there and saying this and that, oh, you guys got to change the law. No, and then it's becoming a whole thing. It seems like they're actually going to commission meetings. They're actually like a normal civilian would, as if anyone else was the president. It really does seem like. So I think he's going about it a good way in terms of getting it. So, and that's why it might not go his way, realistically. And I don't know, if it doesn't go his way, will he then resort to other means? We'll see.
To the Muhammad Ali Act. Not one word will be changed in the Muhammad Ali Act. We're going to add on to it.
Yeah, so he says he's going to add on.
Guys being fighters that want to fight under the Muhammad Ali Act exactly the way it is, will have that opportunity to do that. Or you can bet on me and fight with me under our version of the Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
So that thing's been
So that is
proportion.
That is a very, very, very interesting, and is something that, I've thought in my head. The troublesome part, which I actually don't think is going to be as much as a problem as a lot of people think, is how are you going to convince these boxers to sign to this league for significantly less money when they could be getting paid all this money in boxing? Well, I think there's a lot false with that statement. I mean, first of all, you're talking about, Canelo not in a million years would realistically sign a exclusive contract with Zuffa Boxing or something like that. That is purely just from Dana White. Like, I understand he has a deal with Turkey, and that's a different story. Turkey has all this money, so maybe if Turkey, and that's where, Saudi Arabia really comes into play, if they could have a business model like this, and I'm telling you, this really does seem to be the business model. Let's invest in young boxers now. Let's buy the top boxers out with Saudi Arabia money. Let's get Canelo. Let's get Terrence Crawford. Let's make massive fights that people want to see, and let's make that every month. Let's make and stack the undercard, have those people start now building up names, building up knockouts, building up resumes, and then by the time you have the Canelos, you have the Terrence Crawfords, you have, who else? Maybe Anthony Joshua or, whoever else popping in boxing, they probably could get young guys too. And by the time that all those people maybe age out, now you have a new generation of stars that are exclusively signed to your organization, while other promoters are now struggling, just like how other MMA organizations are struggling. So that is why, that is the whole reason. And that is, I think, and this is my opinion. I don't want to get, look, I'm not assuming anything, because I think this probably is not a great look. So I don't want to, this is my assumption. I want to just put it out there. But I'm saying, like, I think that this is probably their business model. It would make sense, and eventually over time they're going to, this is my opinion, monopolize the boxing industry. So that's just like how they have the MMA industry. That seems to be what it is. And this isn't a play. And this is what I mean about, like, when people say UFC could take over boxing. Realistically, I do not think that Dana White is going to take over boxing in, like, a matter of a few months. Like, I did not think that this one event was going to go down and boxing was going to change. Like, I don't think many people did, to be fair. But, like, I don't even know if by the end of next year boxing will be changed. I think this thing might take 5 years minimum, 10 years probably, maybe even 15, 20 years, realistically. Like, think about the birth of the UFC, how long it took the UFC to be this, like, massive giant. You know what I mean? So let's actually take a look now. What he's saying.
That thing's been blown a lot out of proportion, and I get it. And I knew people.
And guys, like I said, if you guys want me to react to anything, go to the Discord link in the description, and I'll react to it. So, and you guys can send or put it in the chat.
And I get it. And I knew people were going to freak out because that's what people do.
I said, do you need those changes to happen to launch your league in 2026?
No.
Or the amendments that you want to add on?
Right. No, but we're doing it. Listen.
Okay, so that's big because he did not answer this at the press conference for Terrence Crawford and Canelo, and it's a big thing because there's a lot of talk, is Turkey and Dana White, is there tension there? Will Dana White stay in boxing if he can't do this? He very much could be lying here, but he is saying he's still down to stick with it no matter what. Even if they say, hey, you can't have a boxing league and you still have to obey by this, title by another organization, because that's in the whole Muhammad Ali Act. That's what it's, supposed to be, that another body that is not the promotion decides who gets the title shots, who has the titles, and that these sanctioning bodies will help decide, to make it fair. You know what I mean? So it's not like we're seeing guys that don't deserve title shots, but in boxing, I mean, that's ridiculous. Like, that's literally what happened anyway. Big Onk will retire Pereira and send him to boxing. Wow, I don't think that. I think that he might send him to heavyweight, but not boxing. Heavyweight would make sense, but I think Pereira, I don't know. I could see Pereira taking a long break because he seems fed up with this shit. I mean, he is not happy. Magomed, I think, is in his head big time. Let's hear, though, what else? What Dana White has.
Listen, the Muhammad Ali Act was put in place with all good intentions, but I think that it's held the business back. All these guys that have been involved in boxing for a long time, the promoters they don't think big enough. I think much bigger than anything, no matter how bad they all want to compete.
And that's the shot, I think, at Eddie Hearn, who said a couple weeks ago that he was looking forward to competing with Dana White, and, saying that, at one point Dana White and Eddie Hearn, they were on good terms. Like, and they think they're still on good terms, but I could easily see this going down south because Eddie Hearn is known not to hold his tongue. Dana White is known not to hold his tongue. So I'm going to be actually pretty excited to see kind of where that whole thing leads. Let me actually fix Dana White. My bad, guys. Or maybe not. I don't know. I don't know what the hell's going on, guys. Let's just fix this. Sorry, y'all. I don't even know what the hell was that. I'm gonna actually fix it so it won't be so bad. Anyway, yeah, no, but that was Dana White on the whole Zuffa boxing thing. I see that there was a chat. I'm about to read it. Oh, no. I already read that chat. My bad, y'all. So yeah, that was Dana White talking about Zuffa boxing. Obviously, we kind of figured that, yeah, that this was kind of what he was going for, that he kind of wanted to, make this like the UFC, make it one banner, one organization, and that way you eliminate the competition. Let's take a look at this next thing. Let's take a look at this. Okay. So this is Sean O'Malley, of all things, praising Ilia Topuria. At one point, these guys had beef. At one point, the beef was not good, not great. It wasn't great times for both of them. But now we're seeing Sean O'Malley show some respect to Ilia. Maybe it's because he doesn't want to fight him. He's at 135, Ilia's at 155, so now I think the fight's not likely. I think Sean's only going to move up to 145, so maybe that's why he shifted his opinion. He's like, look, the fight's probably not going to happen. We'll see, though. Or maybe he's scared. Some haters will say he's scared, but let's see.
Main event, Ilia Topuria just said he's the main event of the White House next year.
So he said he's the main event of the White House, which is a news story of its own. I'm sure that's not going to be the case unless he's fighting Conor McGregor, which I would be in full support of. Like, I would love that, please. Like, not because of, I think the fight is such a great fight, but because I think, like, yeah, knock out Conor McGregor for good and just retire him and put him out, and let hopefully this be a passing of the torch that maybe Topuria can, be a superstar for the UFC. Maybe not as big of a superstar, but let it at least, give him some clout here. I mean, seriously,
The White House event next year. Ilia versus Conor. Fuck it.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
You
What
want
the fuck?
If you want a fucking main event, but they're not American. Yeah. But does it matter? Conor's American. I think Ilia could. Never count Conor out. Ilia is.
Yeah, that is true. They're both not American, so it would not make any sense. But I still would love it. I mean, I think Dana White said you don't have to have an American in the main event, but I think realistically, like, if you're really going to be like, what fight makes the most sense thematically, like, yeah, Tom Aspinall versus John Jones is an amazing fight to have there. But I agree. I actually think it's a smart decision probably not to rely on him too hard to be in a position like that, guys. Let me know what you guys think, though. All right, let's see.
Pound for pound, the greatest fighter to ever walk this earth. Greatest fighter.
Did he just call him the greatest pound for pound fighter to ever walk?
Pound for pound. Is pound for pound the greatest?
Wait, hold up. Because this is another goal.
It would be. I think Ilia could. Never count Conor out. Ilia is pound for pound the greatest fighter to ever walk this earth.
Okay, nah, he's trolling, bro. He's trolling.
Greatest fighter pound for pound.
Nah, then he's trolling. This has to be a troll. Ever?
Even over Jones, dude. Huh?
Yeah. Even over.
That is insane. I mean, that is an insane thing to say, but it's like, you know why it's insane is because I actually think he might be serious, because it's like, yeah, when you look at who he's beaten, I guess it's like you can say that, but it's like, I don't know. For me, I think it's harder to be consistent. That's my opinion. It's harder to be consistent and to consistently get these defenses. So that's why I would not say he's pound for pound greatest. I think that's a bit exaggerative. Like can we dude, I think he's great, and I'm a Ilia Topuria fan. I've actually said, look, I've rooted for him in most of his fights, but like to say he's the best of all time, like he hasn't even faced like a crazy good wrestler yet, has he? Like, who has he faced that's like a crazy good wrestler? Nobody yet. I mean, like, for all we know, what if he goes against Paddy Pimblett and Paddy Pimblett like out grapples him? Seriously, there are talks, like, we're debating if Paddy Pimblett could beat Ilia Topuria. And I'm not saying that people think Paddy Pimblett can. Even if most people think Ilia Topuria, this isn't get the hell out of here, that's a stupid convo. We're talking about Paddy Pimblett versus Ilia, and you're going to say he's the pound for pound like best fighter? The guy hasn't yet to prove himself that far. That's just what it is. I mean, I don't understand how Sean could say something like this. I don't. I really don't.
Jones, I think. It's just like who he's dude his last. Even over Jones, I think. It's just like who he's his last 3 fights. KO's Volkanovski. KO's Max Holloway. KO's
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying, and that's why I'm saying, like, I think he actually thinks this is a legit argument you would make, but it's like I don't agree with this.
He's not taking him down, holding him down. These guys can't get up. He's
Yeah.
knocking him out.
Well, that's probably why he's saying that, because he's salty about Marab, and he's just like, oh yeah, like, you know, grappling doesn't matter. It's how you fucking knock these guys out. But it's like, I think consistency is more important. I think dominating somebody, you know, and not that Ilia hasn't. I mean, I think knocking somebody out, knocking people out the way that he's knocked people out is still dominating. Like, I still think that still is considered dominant. And I'm not trying to downplay Ilia Topuria. That guy is a fucking beast. Like, I will hype that guy up always. It is rare that you're going to see me gas down Ilia, but this is one of those rare times because, I mean, come on. This is now, you're taking this a bridge too far where it's like, bro, now people are not even going to take Ilia serious, you know?
Sweet.
So, yeah, I guess that's what Sean had to say. Yeah, that's what Sean had to say. Let's see. The sport is so weird. Unless you're a very special outlier, everyone loses eventually. Ilia could very well easily end up on a 3-fight losing streak, especially if he keeps chasing higher weight classes. The sport is brutal, and people are getting better by the day. Champion looks dominant for years, and one fight can make them look completely washed. And what the fuck is this? I don't understand though. Like, what was wrong with this? Isn't this? That's what I said. I feel like that's actually a pretty reasonable take. No, is the sport weird? The sport brutal, and people are getting better every single day. Champion looks, yeah. I mean, I think that's fair to say. I that's exactly what was my take. Like, I think it's a bit early to say, man. You know, like, I think that's pretty fair. You know. By the way, follow me on Twitter, guys. Follow me on Twitter right here. Oh, wait a minute. What the hell is that? I just saw that Dana White news. Dana White confirms that. Oh, yes, and this is some big news. Dana White confirms that Zuffa Boxing and a Ring Magazine belt only. So, Zuffa Boxing will not recognize any other sanctioning bodies. So, let's hear this. I actually want to hear this because this goes into the whole box. Oh, shit. I mean, I actually think that's kind of interesting. Let's see. Wow. I mean, look, I actually kind of think that's a sick idea. I actually kind of want to unpack that because that's interesting. What's good, chat? What's up, Jay Gamer? What's up? Yo, that's really interesting. I don't know. So I got mixed thoughts on that. I actually really want to get into that. So, we talked about Dana White, Zuffa Boxing, and how evil he was for monopolizing the business. But easily on the same token, I'm like, damn, that's a pretty good idea. Because, so basically, essentially, how I described it before was you're going to have these big fights as the title fights, and you're going to have, to take that time to promote the undercard. Essentially, what this is, and I think this is even a greater idea to help promote the undercard even faster than, when I was saying 15 to 20 years. This would probably speed it up like 5-10 years, probably to back to 5-10 years. Because if you do a thing where it's like, okay, you have the Riyadh season belt, which is considered now the Ring Magazine belt, which, this, to be fair, could be Turkey's idea because Turkey maybe, is more of a traditionalist in boxing and maybe wants to have more of those, traditional type things there. It doesn't want to fully go into this whole one belt type thing. But for me, like, I think that this is a good idea, having the Ring Magazine belt. It seems like that is going to be the big title where, you see Canelo fight for, you see Terrence Crawford fight for, and you see those big boxers fight for. And then you're also going to get a Zuffa Boxing belt, which is, kind of like a Dana White Contender Series-esque sort of belt where, that is Zuffa Boxing, where you're going to have the, the amateur, not the amateurs because they're pros, but like the pros that have yet to break into superstardom where they could fight for their own belt, which is kind of like a minor league in boxing, sort of. This is like a minor league compared to the major leagues of Zuffa Boxing. and or not Zuffa Boxing, the Major League of Ring magazine, the Zuffa Boxing League will be like a minor boxing, and the Zuffa, I assume once a Zuffa Boxing guy gets big, maybe he defends his title a couple times, he can then unify his title to a Ring magazine belt. And I guess the hope, maybe, and this is just me purely speculating, maybe the hope is eventually that we get enough, big stars that get the Zuffa boxing belt, or enough big guys that there's like, oh, there's enough hype. Let's see. I want to see this guy fight for a Ring magazine belt. Now, I will say that this is something that did occur to me just now. I do wonder, though, is there a massive risk that we see guys like, whoever, like let's say Terrence Crawford have the Ring magazine belt, and we see a guy that's really popping in Zuffa boxing. They finally have, scraped together a star, and they're like, hey, look, this guy, he's ready to fight Terrence Crawford. He has won a few fights. He's gotten a lot of knockouts in Zuffa boxing. He's clearly better than a lot of the other guys in this promotion. Let's put him up against Terrence Crawford. Let's get this massive crossover fight. And I think there's a chance that we see now this big star that Zuffa Boxing has spent so much money behind, so much time behind, so much promotion behind, get knocked out by Terrence Crawford, or even worse, maybe get dominated, look like he belongs in the minor league. Then what does that do for Zuffa Boxing? That makes it lose all credibility. So I don't know. I think it's a bit of a risk, too. We'll see ultimately how they do it. I'm sure they're going to think of this as well, and I'm sure that we're going to see. I highly doubt that it'll probably play out that way. I'm sure they'll figure out something with it, but if that's really what they're trying to do, I could see that happening. Absolutely. But big news, WBC, WBO, and none of the other belts are going to be recognized. Just Ring magazine, which makes sense. So Ring was one of the belts, and now that's going to be the official big title. And then Zuffa Boxing is going to be the minor title, I guess you could say. So I actually don't think that that's crazy, and I think that really would help differentiate the lower boxers and make it so like a guy can actually now create some steam. Like, wait a minute, there's a guy in Zuffa Boxing with 3 title defenses that he just keeps knocking out these guys. That is a lot more sellable than a random guy on the prelims got a few knockouts. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is way more easier to sell, way more easier to then eventually build those guys up to potentially fight Terrence Crawford. And I'm sure they're going to try very hard to get the talent pool good, that they have good fights and that they have good matchups, and they're going to make, I'm sure the matchmaking here is going to play a pivotal role in this whole thing. And I like the matchmaking in the last card. I thought the Canelo versus Crawford card, I thought the matchmaking was good, besides the co-main event, which was a bit of a bore with who I forgot his name, Callum Walsh. I mean, it was a pretty boring fight, but the other fights on the card were actually pretty good. I thought the undercard was good. So the matchmaking, I think they could actually probably succeed in. So there's always that. All right, so let's see what else. Canelo has an injury. He was going to fight in February. Remember, guys, I just referred to that. Sorry, guys, that was my alarm. I just referred to that before, that Canelo signed. It was like right earlier in the stream that Canelo signed a deal that was, for 4 fights or something like that. Not with Zuffa, but with Riyadh, right, which is the Ring magazine belt, presumably. I assume that he could probably, in theory, if he was a champion, he's obviously not anymore, but if he was a champion, sorry guys, I don't know what the hell that was. My throat just got so dry. I assume that if he was a champion or whatever, if he was a champion, he could probably fight and unify for a Zuffa boxing belt. So I think that whatever champion, I don't think there's any like restrictions based on like whoever's a superstar or not. Like, I think anybody pretty much can fight for whatever. So, but point is though, is that he was supposed to fight in 4 years, 4 times in a year, or 4 times in 2 years, or something like that, I believe. I don't know. Oh yeah, or maybe, I guess it was, 4 times in 2 years, but I guess it's not that much. It's like, what, 2 times a year? But he was supposed to fight, I believe, in February, and then again in next September of 2026. And he fought in, obviously, May already, and he fought a second fight against Crawford. So now that's going to get delayed until mid to late 2026. So hopefully June, I guess June to December, really. I wouldn't be surprised if it's once again just pushed till September. I mean, it's possible. And honestly, I could see Dana White definitely, being the businessman he is, wanting to delay Canelo's deal as long as possible to try to get him to re-sign way early. That's obviously how the UFC do things. And, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think of especially, but to be fair, though, if Turkey's willing to pay him anything, I mean, I don't know. Other news, back to MMA stuff. If you guys are curious, if you guys are sick of me talking about boxing, Then we have some MMA stuff, I believe, for the rest of this, or maybe, oh no, there actually is another boxing one, but it's not as it's a bit of a crazy one. Benoit Saint-Denis versus Beneil Dariush confirmed for New York, November 15th. Yeah, I mean, I think Beneil schools this kid. I don't think so. Yeah, I think that y'all are trolling in the chats. I think these are a lot more accurate. I'm worried for Beneil. Beneil did not look good in his last fight. Or no. But no, Beneil actually did look good in his last fight, actually, against Renato Moicano. He won his last fight, didn't he? Didn't he beat Renato? Wow, no. So he actually did look good in his last fight. What? I thought the last fight, you know what I was thinking was the last fight was when he got knocked out by Armin. But no, I forgot he beat Renato Moicano in a massive upset. But I do not think it's going to be Benoit Saint-Denis. Benoit has looked, I think Benoit had that bad year, but I think it was just a bad year. I don't know. I think that he's going to beat Beneil. That's my opinion. Crazy that this happened. Terrence Crawford was reportedly held at gunpoint after getting pulled over by Omaha police last night. Just hours earlier, received the key to the city and a parade in his honor. He walked away with no charges. So basically, the police wrongfully pulled Terrence Crawford at gunpoint. Omaha Police Department. And he's obviously like, look, guys, the face of Omaha. You know what I'm saying? Like that's his whole spiel, bro. That's his whole thing. He's saying, like, I'm not reaching for anything. Yeah, so literally, like, just terrible.
Crazy.
Terrible. Because obviously, like, regardless, whatever, like, this guy didn't do anything wrong. Like, clearly dropped on all charges. And the fact that this happened, I mean, what in God's name could Terrence Crawford have been doing in this situation to, even get arrested? I mean, what the fuck? I mean, this is insane. This is really crazy. Let's see, what's the statement? Omaha Mayor John Ewig. Yeah, because the mayor apologized for this, and Police Chief Todd Schmidt are aware of the video circulating on social media regarding a traffic stop involving Terrence Bud Crawford early Sunday morning. Chief Schmarter, I can't even say this guy's name, but let's just call him the chief, has authorized internal affair investigation. Shortly after 1:30 a.m., officers working in downtown area observed a vehicle driving recklessly near Capitol Avenue. A traffic stop was conducted at Cass Street. While speaking with the driver, an officer observed a firearm on the driver's side of the floorboard. For safety, all occupants were ordered out of the vehicle at gunpoint. The driver was later identified as Mr. Crawford upon verification of his driver's license and was issued a citation for reckless driving. One passenger member of Mr. Crawford's security team was also found to be carrying a legal firearm. So keep in mind, guys, this is all legal. Police have confirmed that all occupants are legally permitted to carry firearms. A police supervisor, lieutenant, responded to the scene of of Crawford's request. So I mean, it's crazy, guys, that this is happening. The officer in question. You guys are fucking crazy. I mean, you guys are fucking crazy. The officer in question, Canelo. Yeah, guys, it's unfortunate. It's sad to see. Marab says I will be doing, we talked about this earlier actually already, that I'll be doing 90% striking. So I already kind of went into that. And I also want to talk about Tom Aspinall, man, looking in shape. There was actually a thing going viral of his, I believe his like body scan or something like that he did. It just showed how fucking like healthy he was, like crazy. Apparently, and yeah, I mean that seems pretty much to be the news. Let's see. I mean, let me do a little refresh. You see, like this was about that they dropped the selfie to Twitter Kings. That's funny. Look, I fuck with Big Onk, bro. I've been saying this. I fuck with Big Onk, and look, his tweets never pop up, man. His Twitter is so fucking hard to find. I mean, oh, here we go. So actually, as I say this, look, I'll give him a like, bro. I fuck with Big Onk, bro. Look who's holding the phone. Concrete proof. Yo, deadass, they're literally admitting it here. Like, look who's holding the phone. Like, this is literally insane. Like, they've literally just admitted this. But he stopped max the charts. I don't know what this is about, but all right. That was good. That was the MMA news, guys. This is something I definitely want to do way more of because, like, I love streaming. I love talking to y'all. I love hearing what the community has to say. We're going to be doing this once again next Monday at 10:30, guys. The UFC 320 fight week. I gave my predictions already earlier on the stream. But there's going to be a lot of content this week. The podcast, you guys know I've started a podcast. We'll get in the link in the description, I believe it probably is. You guys go check the podcast out, guys. A lot of stuff is happening. I'm gonna be streaming more now. I definitely want to go towards more streaming. Let me know, guys. I also want to know what you guys want from the channel, for real. Like, I've been saying this, but I want to know, like, I want to know what y'all think, what y'all actually are like. Okay, I'm wanting to see this. Like, this is like, I want to do shit that y'all want. Like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I maybe I'm like, yo, I some things I don't think you like, and all this. That pod is fire, bro. No, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Cause look, I don't even know. Like, sometimes I'm like, bro, people listen, people not. You know what I'm saying? I want to know for myself, even if it's shite. Let me know it's shite. You know what I'm saying? I could take it, but I just need to know for myself. More streams, man. No. We're gonna stream every Monday. It's like I said, man. It's hard when I'm a student myself. You know what I'm saying? I got, this ain't my main income. You know what I'm saying? Like, this ain't it. You know what I'm saying? So I can't stream all the time, but I want to. I do want to stream more. And Monday definitely is something I could commit to. So Monday we're gonna do for a bit, and hopefully open up to way more. The goal I would love to definitely stream multiple times a night. Sorry, internet cut out. Yeah, for sure. I'll send some feedback. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, but all y'all, dude, for real, tell me what y'all want. I'm willing to do it. That's what I want. Thank y'all for tuning in. I love it, guys. JackMMA After Hours. I'm gonna know what you guys think of that title. That's what we're gonna call this series, and we'll do it, and I'll let you guys know. I'm sure probably when we get closer to winter there'll be a lot more streams. We fuck with your takes, bro. We'll make sure this page grows. Nah, yo, that's what I'm saying. Like, I love y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all don't understand. I love y'all because it's I feel like it's always a vibe. Like, that's the flex I feel like I have. Like, I see people like complain about engagement. Like, that's not a problem. Like, the community is always a vibe. Y'all are always a vibe. Y'all always bring it, and I really do appreciate it, because that's what makes all this even even more insane. It adds even more onto it, because like when I first was doing this, like I was actually just thinking about this way earlier today. Like when I first was doing YouTube, like I don't even know what I thought. Like I don't know. I didn't think anything of it. Like I did not think like how this would happen. Like and I'm not even big or anything like that. I'm like, I know, so I'm just happy, you know what I'm saying, for real. So that just is what it is. Like, obviously, look, I want to grow more, 1,000%. Like I'm not trying to say I'm good, you know what I'm saying? No, I definitely want to grow more, but I'm just saying I definitely am very appreciative, and you got to be appreciative, bro, because a lot of people, and I compare myself to, not people around, but people that were in my position. You look at some of these big people now, it's like, look where they were, when they were, 2 years in. I'm not even 3 years in to YouTube, which is that a fact? Yeah, no, I'm not even 3 years in. I'm about to be soon, and we actually have a big surprise potentially coming up. So I'm excited to tease that about the 3-year anniversary. It'd be cool to see you in Doom MMA collab, bro. I like seeing people in the community work together. I've definitely I collabed with JackMMA. So look, Doom MMA. Look, I'm gonna write this down right now. I'm literally going to write this down right now, and I'm going to look into Doom MMA. And yeah, I'm down, because look, I definitely want to collab with more people about stuff, and I definitely want to do more, and especially with streams, a big goal of mine for this stream, and next time I definitely want to, I want to work on things for the next stream as well. I want to make this like I don't want to, like so many people bullshit on stream, talk about God. Like I want to react to news with y'all. I want to, make sure that this is not like, oh, we're let's keep the show moving. Let's do some stuff. I want to, hopefully we'll create some call systems, call some guests in, you know what I'm saying? Like I got some big views for this show. That's what I'm hyped about. I'm really hyped about doing this. This is it's like a new endeavor, in a way. So I'm always looking for new endeavors. Look, you see, I started the podcast, I'm already looking for new endeavors, you know what I'm saying? So we're always looking for stuff. I'm always looking for stuff, you know what I'm saying? And the podcast, the podcast, it's really fun to do. I really like doing the podcast too. It really is tough. It's not MMA related at all, really. I mean, there's definitely, I'm going to be actually posting something soon. That's a clip from the podcast that was MMA related. I want to post it perhaps on JackMMA or post it somewhere. I don't know. We'll see. But just so y'all could see, just so it's like, yo, y'all also could see the parts that we're talking about, and maybe get a little bit of a clip there, So we'll see. Let me know what you guys think, though. Enjoy talking to all y'all. Manny, John, J Gamer, Darts, Piggly Wiggly. I already think Manny already. Dark Dark Light, we got to think too. Dark Light, shout out. Dark Light has been, and I got to say, what I said to him, oh, GK isn't that bad, and he left. So I don't know. I was just thrown off. Like, look, I mean, look, GK, I don't really know that well, but I'm just saying, like, yo, what did he do? Like, he's weird, but you cool, Jack. Now, am I weird now for associating with him? What the hell is Doogie's Corner? Oh wait, let me actually look up Doom MMA too. I'm gonna look up Doogie's Corner first. Let me see. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. I'll do it like this. Let's do it. Doogie's Corner. Shout out Doogie's Corner, man.
G'day, legends. If you've been here before.
Shout out Doogie's Corner. I'll peep Doogie's Corner in a little bit. Let me see Doom MMA. Hey guys, this is the podcast. Now we'll check out the podcast as well, so you guys could take a look. Doom MMA. Is this Doom MMA? Yeah, no, for sure, bro. Let's do it. Let's fucking do it. Let's do it. I mean, look, for sure, like, I fuck with, you know, and I always say, like, I've been saying for a minute, like, you guys could see, actually, you know, funny enough, we're going to plug the podcast here, but I actually said this, I believe, in this podcast that I'm in. I was saying, like, look, at the end of the day, it's all about, yo, if everybody comes together, it's kind of like, yo, everybody grows in a way. But this is the podcast, guys. I want you guys to take a look. This is, look, it's just we sit down with some artists, interview them, talk about news, talk about whatever. I think it's pretty entertaining, you know, even if, obviously, you know, look, you're MMA fans, there's definitely some, you know, I definitely throw some stuff in there. But it is different, guys, so I won't lie to you. So if it's not your thing, you know, no need to check it out, I guess. But, you know, unless you want to support me. But I appreciate it, guys. You guys, seriously, love the stream. Love talking to y'all. Loved everything about it, man. I could really do a line of coke. I'm just kidding, guys. Should I not have ended it like that? Did I just ruin the whole stream? But I don't know. I'm a bit exhausted. I'm a bit burnt out. I'm a bit tired from today. I woke up mad early. I've been, you know, but I gotta say, this was definitely fun. I gotta say, just chilling. I love just, you know, recapping MMA news, because honestly, I hate the fact that so much news. It's so hard to cover everything, but here we are covering what we can at the very least, guys. Let me know what you guys think. This is for real going to be the end now. I love you guys. I will see you guys. Let me know in the comments what you guys want to see next. If you watch the whole thing afterwards, nah, man, do a line of Connor. Yeah, do a line for Connor. Yo, me and Connor, that's what we're going to try to build after hours for. Big enough to get Connor on, hopefully the night before the White House card, and we'll do some coke, and we'll call it. You know what I'm saying? I actually don't mind. I like some coke. Diet Coke, though. You guys heard, you want a Diet Coke that's a joke, right? That song is about cocaine. Shout out Pusha T, shout out Clips, shout out all the rappers, shout out all the MMA fighters, shout